Start ka lang. Start ka natin. Hello, good afternoon, Patrocinians. We're very sorry for the short, critical inconvenience because we are facing some technical difficulties here on the site. So I suggest everyone to please stand by and keep active because we will fix this inconvenience as fast as possible. Thank you.
Dr. Alumni, our respected school director, dear speakers, teachers, alumni, all Patriots, good day. It is my utmost pleasure to have you today, especially the alumni of the school, spending time and pursuing your interests and learning opportunities during this time of pandemic. It gives me immense warmth to grace all of your presence. Hello, welcome to the virtual learning session in Passion, Purpose, and Pathways, Reflections on Education Resilience. During the last few years, we faced a lot of challenges, especially the outbreak of the global pandemic, which tested our strength and excellence in promoting higher quality learning. It has been a huge challenge for all of us, but this is also a remarkable year for a new milestone to be achieved, as this institution promotes lifelong learning and resilience in education. According to Mr. Henry Ford, anyone who stops learning is old, whether at 20 or 80. Anyone who keeps learning stays young. Through this virtual learning session, we'll make an investment that helps to improve our knowledge and attitude towards life. It is not only a moment to reconnect with each other, but it is also an opportunity to reflect on our learning, experiences, and accomplishments. As PMDS graduates, we become bearers of patriotism in life, someone who inspires students and brings great glory to our institution. Most importantly, we serve as role models who embody the core values of SHINE: spirituality, happiness, integrity, nationalism, and excellence. Today, let us all open the windows of our minds, take a deep breath, and venture out into the reflections on education resilience. With this, I am privileged to introduce to you the President of PMDS Alumni Association, Ms. Carol Delenia, to deliver the keynote address and to be followed by our alumni speakers for their heartwarming speech. These esteemed personalities bring out the best of themselves and shine as remarkable students of PMDS. Let us then listen and learn from our distinguished speakers. To all our dearest school alumni, may you have a meaningful experience in this event. Enjoy and be inspired. Once again, welcome. Have a great time throughout the session. Thank you. Doctor.
To my late grandmother, Conchita Romagir. For me, we need to do all things with grace and dignity, be it our passion and purpose in life, or the pathways we take in between, not to impress other people, but to impress and satisfy ourselves. Dr. Ruel A. Longinas, PMDS teachers, staff, parents, to my fellow alumni, and of course to my dear Patriots, good day. At your age today, do you really know your true passion? Do you understand your purpose in life? And do you appreciate the pathways you take in between? If yes, then this is the best time to reflect on the speaker's experiences and words and use it to make ourselves better. But if not, it's okay. This is also the best time to listen to our speakers and to instill in our hearts the learnings they want us to take. When we talk about passion, purpose, or pathway, it's hard. Honestly, it's difficult. Regardless of age, sometimes we just feel lost and empty. No matter how hard we try to make ourselves better, to make ourselves proud, sometimes we just feel like it's still not enough. And it's okay. It's alright to feel lonely sometimes because our feelings are valid. No matter how small it is, it's valid. And no matter how petty other people think the reason is, it's still valid because you matter. You will always matter. But of course, we need to know our limitations and work on it to improve ourselves. No matter what your passion is, it is very important because that is one of the reasons we continue to strive, we continue to survive. And if until today you are still looking for it, you are still searching for your passion that suits you best, I'm here with you. I want to remind you that there is no deadline in looking for your passion as long as you put effort in looking for it. That's what matters, and you should be proud of yourself. For those who are blessed enough to discover their passions earlier, embrace and own it because it's yours. It's meant for you. Right now, you are standing or sitting there listening to me because you have a purpose. And that purpose is not limited to what other people want you to achieve. It goes beyond the things you want to try for yourself. As they say, think and act outside the box, but do it with grace and dignity. Don't be afraid to explore all the good things for your benefit and discover new things that will strengthen your purpose. Always remember that no matter how hard and difficult your pathway may be, always see the good in it. Because through that hardships, there is always lessons that you can earn to educate yourself. You know what? PMDS education is one of a kind because many opportunities will open for everyone. It doesn't limit to those people or students who have high grades, but opportunities given by PMDS is equal and fair. You just have to be courageous enough to embrace and own that opportunity in order to grow and be the best version of yourself. As a PMDS alumni, I want you to experience the best years of your junior or senior high school life. I want you to experience the full ride, and it will only happen if you are willing to. Are you? Give your heart out and start it today by proactively listening to our brilliant alumni speakers. As I end my speech, and after the series of seminar will end, I want you to reflect on how you can be the author of your own life and not depend on what other people will say. Determine your driving force and use that to shine brighter, not just in PMDS, but in this world.
Dr. Noel Longinas, all the students, teachers, alumni, and other patrons, I greet all of you a good day. It is one of my greatest privilege as a PMDS alumni to be chosen as one of the speakers today who will be inspiring the patrons. The prevalence of the disease over our country or the world is what a pandemic is all about. The COVID-19 is a pandemic. It was first discovered on December 2019 at Wuhan, China. It is an infectious disease caused by a newly discovered coronavirus. This pandemic has caused all of us a lot of struggles in life, financially and mentally. Financially, because of the economic shutdown that our government imposed to lessen the probability of all of us to have physical contact with each other. And because of that, some jobs are stopped, and that is why most of the people during this pandemic are unemployed, making them to be financially unstable. Mentally, because of the isolation and the contact restrictions we must abide to minimize or stop the widespread of the virus. Because of that, there was a sudden change in the psychosocial environment of everyone. A vaccine is the only thing we must have to return to our normal lifestyle. Luckily, a vaccine was developed by scientists who are mastered with their own field of studies under a year. What we will just be doing as of the moment is to wait for our time to get vaccinated and just stay safe. According to a study in the Harvard University, coronavirus pandemic has exerted enormous pressure on society and forced a host of changes in how we live and work. But those pressures have ebbed and flowed with the outbreak's progress. When it all recedes in the likely not too distant future, experts expect older, more familiar ways of doing things to return, undoing some of the changes we've seen since March. Harvard expert says some of our adaptations have accelerated already existing trends, like the development of cashless society and the increase in remote work and the decline of brick and mortar retail. And they expect some of these will become a more permanent part of the post-pandemic's new normal. They also say, however, that the most lasting impact may turn out to be one that is invisible. The marking of those coming of age in the pandemic era, much as the Great Depression and World War II marked their generations, with broad but hard to predict effects that will affect society for decades to come. According to a professor of psychiatric epidemiology at the Harvard Chan School of Public Health, the pandemic packs a more enduring punch, affecting nearly every aspect of life with its long duration and widespread personal impacts, like the deaths of loved ones and losses of jobs and businesses. The times are particularly difficult for those growing into adulthood and finding their place in the world. Today's young adult may think of health differently from earlier generations, as more of a common good than something intrinsically personal. If mask wearing endures, they may not remember a time when not wearing one was acceptable. The pandemic's traumas could lead to a rise in hopelessness. Physical distancing may accelerate existing trends to connect via social media rather than in person, which thought compensating somewhat for pandemic-induced isolation may hold its own negative effects. For those older and in the workplace, an obvious and dramatic change has been how their jobs have been affected. Advances in video conferencing and other remote technologies have allowed many to continue to produce and collect a paycheck working from home. One function of the shutdown was forcing those unfamiliar with applications like Zoom, Microsoft Teams, and Google Meet to take the plunge and learn. And what many learned is it's not hard as they thought. What people have feared in the past is the technology aspects of it. And what we may have said is that the technology part is the easiest thing that the people have taken up. They're on Zoom, Slack, Microsoft Teams, and with the ease, the possibilities open up. Many changes are happening during this post-pandemic time, and we must be resilient enough to cope up with those changes if we would like to continue learning and evolve as a being. During these trying times, self-discovery is a must to be able to withstand the changes in our society. Pathways to self-discovery is a course towards achieving the process of learning and understanding oneself. There are many pathways towards self-discovery, and it differs with everyone. According to Sage publication, Pathways to Self-Discovery is an action-oriented mimetic behavioral treatment program uniquely designed for at-risk youth 14 to 18 years of age. There are many things you can do for self-discovery, but in my own experience, during this new normal, what I think are the best pathways for self-discovery is by exploring, trying, and learning new things. By doing so, I learned that there are still things that I didn't know I can do, like reading musical sheets. It really worked well with me because doing music is also my passion. If you want to do self-discovery, you must be able to determine what are your passions in life and what you're curious about. Start asking yourself questions. Self-discovery helps us to identify our abilities, but also how we can leverage and develop them. Because people can know what they are passionate about. It is easier to grasp the concept and accept them. Clearly, self-discovery helps us on the mental side of things, and it can also affect our physical health. Self-discovery is a very important thing for everyone. The Aristotle, the beginning of all wisdom is knowing oneself, and it's supported by a Chinese quote from Tao Te Ching. Knowing others is intelligence. Knowing yourself is wisdom. Mastering others is strength. Mastering yourself is true power. Our post-pandemic realities are deeply related in our pathways towards self-discovery. Why? It is because the post-pandemic realities will be considered what is normal. That is why our pathways towards self-discovery is a deeply connected thing to our new normal. Because we will be going to adapt to our surroundings, new normal. We must adapt to what is so-called normal. We Patricians will not be having a hard time adapting to what is new because as a Patrician, we are resilient to our surrounding. Because as a Patrician, we don't let struggles dictate our future. Because we will soar higher and shine brighter as a Patrician. Thank you. Dr. Longinus.
Let us cut the chase. The year 2020 was a year like no other. Things went unprecedented, and within the 365 days of the year, we have heard stories about death, survival, hope, and fears. In short, there was a lot of anxiety. Stories like this came after one another, day and night, from one platform to another. Perhaps we could say that it was a test of character, or perhaps a test of our own values. Moving forward to the status quo, we could say that we have adapted to the new normal, and there is this bittersweet reality. The pandemic has changed the way we live. So, let us talk about the pathways of a healthy lifestyle. It is essential to remember that our physical health affects our mental health, and vice versa. What we do to our bodies makes a big difference to how we feel. But I will not directly say that you should go out, grab those rubber shoes, take a morning run, put those earphones on, and get that water jog. No. Instead, I would like to let us take a holistic approach to this. Healthy lifestyles is a very subjective topic, and it varies from one person to another. And I'll take it in a more personal way on what I have realized and on what I have discovered with my bare true self. Personally, I can say that there are at least four pathways for a healthy lifestyle. First, a safe space. Second, a hobby. Third, proper nutrition and diet. And fourth, physical activity. When we say safe space, it is about having a place where you can find your inner peace, your comfort, your sense of direction. A space where you can embrace your bare true self. It is a space where a healthy mind develops, where positivity fosters, and not even a single negativity would change that sense of direction. It is also a space that allows you to do the things you like. Yoga and meditation, for example. You know what? When negativity creeps in, what I do is that I go to the shore and just, you know, watch the sea and sunsets. A safe space is not just about you alone in a single room, but it can also be a space with your favorite person, like my grandmother. Because there is much to be learned from people who have lived in this land much longer than we have. Second is about having a hobby. I would admit that finding a hobby is quite challenging. From one point in time, you would love to paint, and someone appears in your life and would say that you become a terrible artist. Someone would say that you do not have the sense of color and design, and your strokes are as terrible as your taste of color. And so the passion in you dies in an instant. But for me, I would claim that my hobby is something that would always make me awake to continue my passion in life. And that is science. Let me watch something about science, and I am willing to keep my eyes open until dawn for that. And why do I say that a hobby is one of the pathways for healthy lifestyle? Because it shapes our perspective in life and it keeps us awake to always do the things that really matter. Third is about having proper nutrition and diet. This is given. As they say, you are what you eat, and eating better can play a big role in our health and well-being. It will not come as an astonishment to discover that what we eat and what amount plays a big part in our physical health, which can impact our mental health too. Proper nutrition and diet energize the mind, and when our mind is healthy, everything follows. Ideally, we should aim to eat a healthy, balanced diet and eat plenty of fruits and vegetables. It is important to keep an eye on our calories and minimize foods that are high in sugar, fat, and salt. Fourth and the last one is physical activity. Endorphins is a feel-good hormone that can be released during physical activity, which helps us feel and sleep better. Also, it improves our physical fitness, which tends to make people feel better from a broader perspective. Even a small amount, yet on a regular physical activity, can improve our mental well-being, especially when we enjoy doing it. Just remember that we can get active at our own pace, in our own way. There is no reason to complicate what we call life. A safe space, a hobby, proper nutrition and diet, physical activity, all affect our mental health and well-being in different ways. And through these four, I believe, I have established pathways to a healthy lifestyle. For health is not defined merely as the absence of disease or infirmity, but a state of physical, mental, and social well-being. But before I will end this speech, I would like to share a borrowed quote from Charles Spurgeon, and it says, "It is not how much we have, but how much we enjoy that makes happiness." Same as having a healthy lifestyle. Having a lavish lifestyle doesn't guarantee a healthy one. I am Nina Nava, a PMDS alumni. Thank you, my fellow Petersonians. I hope you learned something from what I shared with you. And I can't wait for you to discover your own pathways to a healthy lifestyle. Let us cut vision.
Petersonians, I'm Lord Juminya, and we are going to discuss about practical ways to resilience through games and sports. I believe there's a misunderstanding. There's a problem. Definitely a fallacy when it comes to how we think about resilience. When I talk to people about resilience, they often tell me that it is the state of being strong and immune to bad effects that can occur. Normally, whenever I write a piece about a specific topic, I look up the definition of the words to ensure that I understand it and that what I say is always on the topic. When Googling for a definition of resilience, I came across this: the ability to recover rapidly from adversity, or the capacity to recover quickly from difficulties. I'd like you to consider this. When you talk about being resilient and tough, it's nearly always meant that nothing can touch you, that nothing can bring you down, that you're tough. However, as we can see, it is the ability to bounce back fast from adversity. It is all about being able to recover. Let us not forget, though, being resilient is that it takes a strong person to be broken first and then begin to mend. I wanted to say this to remind everyone, including myself, that being resilient doesn't mean that you can be affected by anything. Being resilient entails going through difficult circumstances, but rising beyond it, refusing to be defeated and fighting back twice as hard. When we pretend that things don't touch us, that we are tough, we don't become resilient. According to Paul Ollis Heinde, an experienced psychiatric nurse, the pressure will continue to build and build until eventually we break. You have to feel pain in order to develop resilience. I would like to encourage you to feel more. Allow yourself to say things like, okay, this happened, and it made me feel like you will not enjoy how it feels, but it will not kill you. It won't be easy, but only then you will be able to begin to create true and healthy resilience. What are the examples of resilience? Emotional resilience allows a person to maintain reasonable hope even in the face of disaster. Physical resilience is the ability of the body to adapt to adversities and recover swiftly. Community resilience, the ability of a group of people to respond and recover from adversity, such as natural catastrophes, acts of violence, or economic hardship. There are 7 C's of resilience model that has been developed by Ken Ginsberg, a pediatrician at the Children's Hospital in Philadelphia. This model is to help children and adolescents build resilience, learning competence, confidence, connection, character, contribution, coping, and control. Is how Ginsberg says we can build inner strength and utilize outside resources, regardless of age. Now let's put resilience in real-life situation. Let's imagine you've faced challenges in the past, such as being teased and emotionally harassed at school because you're overweight and unable to participate in sports because of your current weight. What are your options for dealing with this? There are a lot of strategies and practical ways to increase resilience, one of which is to participate in sports and games. The first thing that you will do is to accept the negativity. Do not deny the fact that you're hurt, because remember, you have to feel pain in order to develop resilience. Then, engage yourself into sports, and then play. In that way, you'll be hitting two birds with one stone. You will lose weight due to physical activities. Also, you will improve your skills in sports since you're already playing. And the most important thing, you can develop resilience. Back in the days when I was the current SSG president in PMDS, it was the time when COVID-19 is affecting the emotional and intellectual health of students, even also parents. Our school director, Dr. Roel A. Coninos, found a way in order to inspire hope and dispel fear to pay to seniors by conducting a sports tournament facilitated by SSG officers. With the theme, Pay to Seniors, promoting resilience and mental health through arts and sports. As a result, we have cleared the mind of the frightened Pay to Seniors and proved that the virus cannot stop us from doing physical activities in school, such as sports. Hence, we can strengthen our physical health by engaging ourselves in sports. And most importantly, we contribute in developing resilience to the Pay to Seniors, including myself, since I also participated in the basketball tournament. Sad to say, our team has been defeated, but it's okay, at least I tried. Anyways, why is it necessary to be resilient? People require resilience because it offers them the strength to process and overcome challenges. Those who lack resilience are more likely to become overwhelmed and resort to negative coping techniques. Resilient people draw on their strength and support systems to overcome challenges and work through problems. To end this beautiful speech, I may have to borrow from Celine Dion's words. Don't surrender, because you can win in this thing called resilience. When you want it the most, there's no easy way out. When you're ready to go and your heart's left in doubt, don't give up on your faith. Resilience comes to those who believe it. And that's the way it is. Thank you, God bless, and good afternoon.
A great afternoon, Patricians. This day, our fellow alumni students have tackled a series of topics which centered educational resilience. Well, we all know that the spring 2020 semester will be remembered as one of the most challenging in the history of higher education. Students have endured significant crises throughout time. However, having multiple crises occurring concurrently has rarely, if ever, been experienced. First, COVID-19 threatened the health of the students and their family members. This led to a sudden economic downturn as nationwide stay-at-home orders were implemented. Within the span of a few weeks during the middle of the semester, students may have lost their job or had to get a job to support their families if their parents were laid off, furloughed, or became unemployed. Determination and resilience, particularly through times of adversity, to reach a desired outcome, can be a hallmark of successful students. Angela Duckworth and her team of researchers defined the term grit as perseverance and passion for long-term goals. A positive outlook is key to resilience. because it allows us to think positive and understand setbacks as a part of life. Problems are not always avoidable, so resilience allows us to remain open and flexible in the face of change. Instead of falling into despair or hiding from problems with unhealthy coping strategies, resilient people face life's difficulties heads on. So, paid resilience, we must be resilient to our challenges in our life. And I hope that on this seminar, you will learn a lot from our fellow alumni students. Thank you and have a great day ahead.
Before we end today's insightful program on the topic of reflections on education resilience, let us thank and commend our alumni speakers, Mr. Jimuel Costillas, Ms. Nina Villanueva, and Mr. Lord Jimuel Minyao. Sadly, Ms. Joanna Marie Mendez was not able to attend our session, but we must thank her for trying her best anyway. It is important to find value in education and therefore be resilient in it, as it is important in shaping the futures of young students such as you and I. Hopefully, you'll reflect upon the lessons you have learned thus far and learn how to apply them in life, for education is an outlet for individuals to branch out to many possibilities. Be sure to take this opportunity to reflect on our habits, both constructive and harmful, so that we may be able to change for the better and have the resilience to press on even when times are tough. Thank you once again, everyone, for attending our virtual learning session entitled Pathways, Reflections on Education Resilience. Wash your hands, observe health protocols, and stay safe in this pandemic. Soar higher, shine brighter, Patricians. God bless and enjoy the rest of your day.